28:6. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. All right, Shalom Michael. It's a high spirit wind, Judah, the GMS Mississippi camp, giving our honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, by Shema outside, by Surah Chakudash. I also want to give double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, today I'm going to go into a quick live stream after I just did a live stream, but the Spirit got on me to do another one. All right, and it's basically entitled "Being a Nigger is Not Superior Than Being a Man of Yahawah," or a man of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. All right, being a nigger is not superior. All right, because in Babylon, man, we deal with low life energy, man. We deal with low culture, and low culture appeals to the flesh. And people who are esteemed within low culture, they falsely are esteemed higher than men of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. Now, Elder Yashawama just did a video basically saying that, that basically the scholars in this world are blind, right? And the Most High gave his truth to men like us, people who the world looks down on, or the world just overlooks us. Our people overlook us, all right? The way the Most High set it up. Like them tacky niggas, but the Most High gave them tacky brothers the truth, man. Those brothers was with the sackcloth, all right? But our people in error, all right, esteem Jake that are low life, low level, low culture with money. Jake esteems them higher than we're esteemed, man. And brothers shouldn't fall into that temptation of starting to move like a nigga, man. All right, because when you watch rap videos, man, Jake move a certain way. Jake got a bag of money in his hand. The music, the beat go hard. You know what I'm saying? Jake waving guns at the camera, all this male bravado. Okay, and then you move a certain way, it appeals to the flesh, man. All right, Jake do shows, all the women up front like him, all the niggas respect him. All right, so your flesh can be tempted into following that same thing, man, following after his ways, man. All right, so let me get that right quick. All right, so there's a false understanding, a misunderstanding that being a nigga is really better than being a man of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, right? And now a lot of our people are waking up, but 2/3 of our people will never wake up into the missiles. Okay, so let me get that Sirach 11:21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in Yahawah and abide in thy labor. For it is an evil thing in the sight of Yahawah. For it is an easy thing in the sight of Yahawah on the sudden to make a poor man rich. So we shouldn't want riches on this side, to where you gotta lose your integrity. You gotta murder a loved one, sacrifice, a loved one, Jennifer Hudson, your family, to get a movie role. But furthermore, you shouldn't have to pollute your whole neighborhood so you can feel good, so your flesh can feel good, man. So niggas can respect you, man. So dark spirited ass Eve can respect you, man. And that's one thing about nigga culture, man. In America, to the Israelite man, who you are is not enough, and that's a misconception, man. All right, that's not true, man. You shouldn't have to make 6 figures for a woman to like you, man. All right, you shouldn't have to have caught a body for niggas to respect you. You should have to beat your chest for somebody to not take you as a pussy, man. That is nigga culture. That's a low life mentality, man. All right, that's a low life mentality, man. All right, you should have to beat your chest so somebody can respect you, man. All right, you should have to do all these tricks and be able to do all these things so little Eve can like you, man. All right, but let me get that again. Sirach 11:21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in Yahawah and abide in thy labor. For it is an evil thing, for it is an easy thing in the sight of Yahawah on the sudden to make a poor man rich. All right, it's an easy thing on the sudden for Yahawah to make a poor man rich. And that's going to be manifested in the kingdom when he makes a poor man rich, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and the reason why I'm doing this lesson is because Esau has engineered a nigga. All right, ever since the falling away, All right, when Esau sacked Jerusalem, all right, we gradually, where we get the term gradualism from, we've gradually degenerated from the ancestral standard of our forefathers, man. All right, and it has been accelerated ever since what, the 1960s. All right, when Esau Frankenstein our people through black exploitation, so-called black exploitation, man, through something called nigger music, specifically through gangster rap, trap music, drill music, all right, through bastardizing the households, through processed food and different chemicals in the houses in the lab, man, you know, lead inside the houses, all these things that put our people on a very low frequency, man. All right, but Esau pedestalized his product. So his product is a nigga. He pedestalized his product and made his product superior in our nation. So now Jake think it's the energy of being upright, the energy and spirit that comes from being upright is not as appealing to the energy that comes from being like a wild nigga, man. All right, a primitive nigga. All right, but you're being seduced into being inferior to the elites. You're being seduced to being inferior to Esau Edom. You're being seduced ultimately from a strain from your power. All right, don't be bewitched, all right, by the accolades and on this side of being a nigga, man. All right, because you know you'll watch an interview say with Vlad, and you'll get a nigga from some grimy neighborhood, and people on the comment board will congratulate him because they can understand what he's saying. Like, you know, he speaks so well. You know, now you're playing into this role that Esau is more superior, man. Esau love niggas, man. What are you saying? Esau might hate niggas, but he love niggas because it plays into his superiority complex. When Esau's around a simple nigga, that makes him feel like a man. Okay? When Esau's around a simple nigga, that makes him feel like a fucking man. Okay? And that's a fact. When Jake is simple, that makes Esau feel superior. All right, Esau loves to condescend. He loves to talk to you like you're a little boy or like you're some fucking Labrador, man. Because he has a superiority complex. Esau don't want to be equal with you. The Edomite man, the so-called white man, he doesn't feel good when everybody's in the same neighborhood. No, his peace and his pride comes from I'm up here and you down here. So when you get seduced into Esau's trap, which is being a nigga, now you make him feel superior because a nigga will never overthrow a kingdom, ever. Being civilized is superior to being a street nigga. Now, where do you get civilized from? You get it from our laws, right? Being upright is more superior to being a low life, man. All right, Esau will congratulate that, but he's not like that. Well, he's like that globally, but he doesn't push that on his family. He doesn't want, you know, the men in his environment to be niggas, you know? As a matter of fact, let me get that, man. You know? Let me get that right quick, you know. Sirach 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. All right? But it said, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. So when you teach your son, all right, and you teach your son the law, statutes, and commandments, just saying in theory, right? You mold your son, that's a threat to Esau's kingdom, man. A nation full of Israelite men, a nation full of productive men, a nation full of men who gonna build, that's a threat to another man's kingdom. He needs you to be a slave. Every kingdom needs his people to be slaves, man. Whether it's through the prison industrial complex, which is a form of a modern day plantation, or you just a worker, all right? But men in their natural habitat, they're not born to work for other men. They're born to work for themselves. They're born to build within their own domain. So Esau don't want you to economically overthrow him. But ultimately, he doesn't want you to go back to your power. So Esau's comfort zone is you being a nigga. That's why I said don't get seduced into thinking being a nigga is superior. Who's producing these rap videos? Who's signing these niggas? It's Esau. All right, he's not putting apostles on some platform. He's putting a nigga on a platform. He's putting a degenerate. So why would you play? You know, why would you dumb down yourself? You know, growing up, you might have been tempted to dumb down yourself, man. Right? Like you just too cool to be smart, man. But a smart Israelite man, an Israelite man that's intelligent, that's a threat to the enemy. An Israelite man is not a slave to his devices. That's an enemy to the ops, man. Israelite man that has self-control, that's the enemy to the ops, man. He wants you to be a primitive nigga so he can hunt you, man, or imprison you. All right? As illegal as murdering another person, or as illegal it is to sell drugs, Esau do a lot of, he signed a lot of artists that push that, man. All right? So don't get seduced into this narrative that, you know, being all because Keisha likes it. All right? Well, she's your enemy. The scripture says she that is my enemy. So if Eve likes you being the worst version of yourself, then that says something about her. All right? If you're not nigga enough for her, then she's your enemy. She's not for you. She walking around with blonde hair in 2020, in 2022, excuse me. She walking around with blonde hair. She can't take a picture without having her ass out or her titties out. She hates herself. All right? She can't accept her real self, let alone you. See? So, hey, that's why I said, marvel not at the works of sinners. And the other scripture just says, envy not the glory of a sinner, man. All right? Let me get this one of the final scriptures. Psalms 50. Psalms 57. All right. Psalms 57 and 6. This is talking about the elite. So I'm going to start at 5. Be thou exalted, O Yahawah, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth. All right. It says, they have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me into the midst whereof they are falling themselves. But it says they have prepared a net for my steps. And you look up the word net, it goes back to Rashath, which means leaders causing people to sin. So the elite, starting with Amalek, all right, they financed these music industries that was going to manufacture niggas, and these niggas was going to be role models to the 2/3 of our people, so they could misguide them, mislead them, and cause them to be astray from Yahawah Bashmal Shai. But on every strata, all right, Esau is intimidated by an upright Israelite man. Ultimately, a man of Yahawah Bashmal Shai. He's intimidated by a man that's plugged in with his power source. All right, so his comfort zone is a low-level nigga. See, everybody, they glorify as a street nigga, but nobody expect the street nigga to do something that's productive. Nobody expect, say, the Migos or Gucci Mane to rebuild an engine. All right, nobody expects an athlete to be the head of an architecture firm. They just expect you to be in a circus. You see, they just expect you to be in a circus. Shalom, brother. Yahawah Shema Shah Brakatah. All right. But you got this 28-year-old nigga that know everything about his neighborhood, everything about the streets. But then you got a damn 28-year-old Elamite, all right? This a damn brain surgeon, or in school to be a brain surgeon, all right? You got documentaries that show Jake navigating their hood, 50 years old, still being in the hood, being a street nigga, 50 years old. But then you got this 50-year-old goddamn real estate investor who owns all these acres of land, but he's an Edomite, man. You see, everybody like that street nigga energy. Everybody like that thuggy energy because it's a demon that's attached to it. It's that appealing energy. But you compare him to Jake that's from West Africa, or a Moabite that's his same age. All right, that Moabite is a god to this nigga, man. All right, you know, you got Moabites. You know, they scientists, this, that, and the third, but Jake just know the streets. So when it comes to reality, a street nigga has no value. You see? All right, but hey, 1 second, Akim. 1 second, Akim. All right, and the most valuable thing within our nation is wisdom. I'm gonna go and get out of here. That might just be through the spirit. But I'm gonna go and get up out of here, and I'm just gonna close it out with the scriptures that the brothers put on. All right, Allah, Awalam, Awar 144K, It says, my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ears to my understanding, that thou regard discretion and that thy lips may keep knowledge. All right. And the brother has Sirach 1:4. Wisdom have been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting. All right. The word of Yahawah Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. All right. So a man of Yahawah, meaning a man is really a vessel of Yahawah Bashma Shai. His spirit is filled with the understanding of Yahawah Bashma Shai. All right, the knowledge, not only the law, studies, and commandments, all right, but the proverbs, the wisdom of our forefathers. That man has more value on how to navigate in this world, all right, than a nigga, man. All right, nigga energy appeals to the flesh. That's why, you know, you might like it, you know, you might like it, you might grab, your flesh gravitates to it, Eve, her flesh gravitates to it, but it has no value, man. Like junk food appeals to the flesh, junk food appeals to the taste, but it has no value to your temple. But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all and glory to Yahawah by Shema Shai, by Shema Kakwadash, the underside elder apostles, elder bishops, great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings to the house there with the elect, Abba Baal, come out, Shalom.